सम्मानित और बहुत ही गर्वित महसूस होता है जब इंडियन आर्मी से कोई आता है। और आज हमारे साथ है वीर चक्र से सम्मानित लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल Y.K जोशी सर, who is the hero of our Kargil war। एक बार जोरदार तालियां।
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And we also have his book, Who Dares Wins। तो सर सबसे पहले आप बताइए कि Who Dares Wins, तो टाइटल ही इतना अच्छा है। कारगिल वॉर में क्या मनोस्थिति थी वहाँ, कैसा माहौल था और कैसे आपने अपने सभी साथियों को मोटिवेट किया, क्योंकि आफ्टर ऑल Who Dares Wins।
Absolutely right. This is the lesson which I wanted to bring out to the youth of the nation कि दुनिया में आपको challenges तो बहुत मिलेंगे, लेकिन और failures भी बहुत होंगे, लेकिन इन failures को आपने एक lesson लेना है इनसे और आगे बढ़ना है। फेलियर्स को अगर जब भी फेलियर्स आते हैं तो आपने अपना मोरल डाउन नहीं करना है, and you can't pack up and go home. You have to take it as a lesson and take it ahead. Only then you will succeed. So in a difficult situation, you have to dare, you have to step out. Only then you will win. तो कारगिल जब हम पहुँचे तो माहौल इस प्रकार था कि जिस दिन मैं द्रास पहुँचा 12 जून को 1999, तो वहाँ पर सामने द्रास से ऊपर देखो तो तोरली की पहाड़ी थी, उसके ऊपर दुश्मन बैठा हुआ था और दुश्मन की आर्टिलरी की फायरिंग चल रही थी। ग्राउंड बर्स्ट, हमारे चारों तरफ आर्टिलरी के गोले फट रहे थे। एक गाड़ी मेरे सामने चल रही थी, एक एम्बुलेंस दौड़ती हुई जा रही थी फुल स्पीड पे, कैजुअल्टीज को इवैक्यूएट करती हुई हॉस्पिटल में लेके जा रही थी, और ऊपर भी गोला बारूद, टोटल सिचुएशन ऐसी थी। और क्योंकि तोरली कैप्चर नहीं हुआ था तो वहाँ से मशीन गन के फायर हमको सुनाई दे रही थी। और जब मैं ये सारी सिचुएशन का जायजा ले रहा था तो उस वक्त हमको हुक्म मिला कि अपनी बटालियन को ले जाओ तोरली के ऊपर। तो यू कैन इमेजिन द स्टेट ऑफ द माइंड when you are seeing all this in front of you, and then you are ordered to go up on the same mountain from where the casualties are being, fatal casualties are being brought down. So it was very challenging times. पर भारतीय फौज जो है, ऐसी सिचुएशंस में, our training comes in, and then we did what we did and created history.
That is absolutely right, sir. So, sir, there is also a chapter in your book, NDA, the first uniform. When you got your first uniform, what was the feelings? Was it very joyful? What did you do?
Yeah, so wearing a uniform is thrilling. Now that I'm retired, about 3 years back, I miss my uniform the most. And NDA में जाकर जब हमने पहली बार अपनी यूनिफॉर्म डाला और अपने आप को शीशे में देखा, you feel very proud, matter of pride. It's a great feeling.
Also, your book mentions that you have participate from various Kendriya Vidyalayas, right? So, in one chapter, I also read that in class 5th, when your Sanskrit teacher asked you for the shlokas, so KB changed you like nothing. So, what was the story you can share with us?
Yeah, so I had just moved from a convent school to Kendriya Vidyalaya school, and I was one of the brighter students in the class. So suddenly it was decided that we will celebrate the Teachers' Day. और मेरे संस्कृत टीचर ने मेरे को पकड़ लिया कि आ जाओ, ये 10 श्लोक लिखे हुए हैं, आप उनको फटाफट याद कर लो और आपने पूरी स्कूल के सामने सुनाने हैं। ऐसा कॉम्पिटिशन था, तो मैंने याद कर लिए। एंड जब मैं गया वहाँ पर तो ऑडियंस के सामने, इट वाज द फर्स्ट टाइम कि मैं पूरे स्कूल के सामने स्टेज के ऊपर खड़ा था और मुझे 2-3 श्लोक तो याद रहे, उसके बाद मैं भूल गया। And then I just froze on the stage. So my first lesson that time was that you always have to have a plan B in place. If your first plan doesn't work, have a plan B. I should have actually taken out my book and read out some of the slogans. I just moved out. I kept standing on the stage for a very long time. It became very embarrassing for me, and that lesson I can never forget.
So my next question would be about that. What is the one thing that army totally changed in yourself?
So it's not just one thing. There are so many things that the army changes you, in your life.
Yeah.
For me, the army changed me completely. Actually, after I joined the army, my posture and the way I walk, my physical fitness, my confidence, facing the audience, and doing a difficult task, facing challenging situations, so many things. The army changes you completely. Actually.
Sir, could you share any of the stories of army that you have? Any emotional, any funny stories you have?
Any story?
Yeah.
What way?
Any kind of story.
Yeah, so in my Indian training, we have to do horse riding. And there, all the cadets who go for the horse riding, every time, they just don't know horse riding. But the horses have become so trained over a period of time that, when you're sitting on the horse, and the Ustad gives the order, ki ghoda, daine, mud. So you are supposed to do something, pull the right rein and dig in your left heel and the horse will turn to the right. But as cadets, we don't know anything. But the horses are so trained that the Ustad gives the order and the horses keep doing things on their own. And it appears that the cadets who are sitting on these horses, they are experts, but actually we know in our hearts that it is the horse that is doing the thing. And so that was a great moment for me learning horse riding there. For over a period of time, then you become experts.
Okay. So coming back to the Kargil War, can you tell us about what was the feelings of the families, since you cannot even contact them? It was a true moment of struggle. How does the family, get through it?
Yeah, so for the families, it was a very difficult time. For my wife, we could not communicate with them. So once in a while, we used to go to, that time we used to have the STD booths in the Ras, one STD booth. From there, there used to be a very long line, and we used to ring up from there. And whenever I used to ring up from there to my wife, and used to ask, what's happening and all that. But that time, the media was not active as yet. So I used to always tell her, everything is fine, just don't worry. But after we did our first operation, we captured 5140 on the Toral Link, and we came down. Then we were interviewed. My whole battalion was interviewed by Barkada. She had come there, and then those cassettes, of Dil Mange More and the operations that I'm explaining to Barkada, Tiger in the background, was all over the entire national media. She was working for Star News that time, and when my wife saw that, then she realized, she saw my sunburned face when she heard about the casualties. And then next time when I rang up, and spoke to her, then she knew that, it's not a very happy situation that you are in. But then, the army wives are very strong. They learn. And my wife, Ina, she was in Delhi, and she would go to the base hospital and, single out all the casualties, of course, coming from the Kargil war, especially my battalion, and used to go and meet them and boost up their morale and look after them and all that. So that is the kind of, ladies that we have in the Indian Army.
Kargil War was such a tough situation for everyone. Who was, the one motivator in your whole battalion who keeps everyone going?
So there were many, but I must talk about Vikram Batra. He was a very, very lively person. Always a smile on his face, and in a difficult situation, you meet him and you give him a task, and he would immediately say, "Sir, it will be done." And it was not just for the sake of saying it, but he used to ensure the task is done. And you're talking to him, speaking to him. I was much more senior to him, of course, but when you meet him, you should always go back happy. He was a big motivator and a very, very energetic, lively person. We miss him, of course.
We all do, sir. We all miss him. He was a gem for this country. So the Kargil War when ended, how did you all celebrated that? What was the ground situation there?
Celebrate in terms of?
In terms of when you just raised the flag there, what was your feelings? What was your emotion?
So, we were in a situation where there were mixed feelings.
Yeah.
We were losing people, and while we were achieving, the task that was given to us. So 7th of July, we lost Vikram Batra, but it was his bravery that gave us a foothold on point 4875, after which we launched the attack and captured the entire feature. So it was a moment of great victory for us because 4875 was a very, very strategically important feature in the Bashfo Valley, and capturing that was a big achievement. But at the same time, we had lost Vikram Bhatta the same day. So it's a very difficult situation to celebrate what you have achieved or to mourn the loss of near and dear ones. Very difficult time that we have to go through.
So, sir, does the army discipline really help you writing this book?
No, not so much the discipline. It is just that one day, in fact, writing this book was 2-3 aims that I had when I sat down to write this book. The first one, of course, to pay tributes to my battalion, to the brave Jackals, to the brave, to pay tributes to all the brave soldiers, officers, and JSOs of my battalion, amongst whom I grew up, and alongside whom I fought the war and achieved so much. So that was really important. So it was long overdue that I write this book for my battalion. And the second thing was to motivate the youth of the nation, that if a person like me, coming from a very humble background, can achieve this and become right to a level of a Northern Army commander, then anybody can do it. With hard work, sincerity, integrity, you can achieve a lot. And the third thing was that I want to tell the youth of the nation, what army life is all about. The exposure that it gives. I had, of course, in India I've traveled almost every nook and corner, but I've also traveled abroad to Angola in Africa as part of the UN mission, being observer there. I've been to Beijing, stayed in China for 3 years, traveled in length of China as well as a defense attaché. And while this exposure is there, but there are also adventures, there are challenges as well which you have to face. The Kargil war was one of the biggest challenges that we faced. So that was the aim of writing the book, and it's all straight from the heart. I had no reference notes, and so that was what it's all about.
Lastly, I would like to ask that what was the one moment, what was the one thing that totally changed the Kargil war's fate, and it just came to us. It made a win-win situation.
Yeah, so there's not no one particular moment, but the capture of Toroni was the first one. It was the most dominant feature, and the closest, the maximum interest that the Pakistanis had made and come in. And so after that was captured, then the enemy started sort of falling, and we were able to achieve one success after the other. One more thing I want to tell is about the entire infiltration which had happened was done by the Pakistani soldiers. While Pakistan maintained that these are the Mujahideen, this is your own internal problem, you are terrorists here, we have got nothing to do with it. And to spread this narrative, the nation and the Pak army, they stooped so low that they did not even accept the dead bodies of their own soldiers, who had fought and died for their country. No country does that. But we, being Indian Army, at point 4875, we carried out a proper burial of these Pakistani soldiers who had died fighting us. They were my enemy. But then, what the Indian Army, our ethos is that we got a Maulvi actually on top of the mountain, and we did as per, the religious rites, we buried all the Pakistani soldiers on point 4875. So, that's what Indian Army is all about.
I have a question, like I just asked. Anything that you would like to tell us since then to now? How are our borders? What difference did you see in terms of army, missiles, everything that we have? A shout out to Indians that we are safe since you are all
there. So things have completely changed. On the line of action patrol, especially in the area of Ladakh and in other areas as well, a lot of technology has come in. Now we have drones, we have cameras which have been placed, with feeds coming into the brigade headquarters, into the division headquarters. We have the UAVs flying and proper communication. A lot of infrastructure has come up, helipad, roads. The area in Ladakh, which was that time held by a brigade, is now being held by a division. And so much new weaponry has been sort of brought in there. So there's no way that Pakistan can ever think of doing a Kargil exhibition ever again. Things have completely changed. Thank you.
So last, if you could say a few words about BooksWagon as well. BooksWagon, our website.
Yeah, so thanks to BooksWagon for inviting me here today, and it's a pleasure to be here, and wishing you a lot of success in all the very ways.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.